Hi, friends. This is Paula from McPhail Center for Music, and it is officially fall, at least by the calendar. Um, the weather itself, at least today, feels a little more like summertime, and that's okay with me because winter is coming, and I have a feeling it's going to be a little bit of a cooped up winter. So I'm not going to complain too much about this warm weather we're having right now. But we are, at least from a calendar standpoint, in fall. So we get to look forward to some fun upcoming themes. I'm looking forward to doing some things around autumn leaves and Halloween coming up in October, and just a lot of fun topics for the fall. So today I'm thinking about the harvest moon because, of course, it's almost the full moon, and this year, 2020, the harvest moon is on October 1st. And a lot of times it's in September that they call it the harvest moon, but this year it is 1st of October. So we're kind of around that time, and I thought it would be fun to focus on songs about harvest moon and about the moon itself. So um, that's what we have to look forward to today. But first, we're going to do our opening song, A Wonderful Day Like Today. On a wonderful day like today, I defy any cloud to appear in the sky. Dare any raindrop to plop in my eye on a wonderful day like today. On a wonderful moment like this, when the sun is as big as a yellow balloon, even the sparrows are singing in tune on a wonderful moment like this. On a morning like this, I could kiss everybody. I'm so full of love and goodwill. Let me say furthermore, I'd adore everybody to come and dine. The pleasure's mine, and I will pay the bills. May I take this occasion to say that the whole human race should go down on its knees, show that we're grateful for mornings like these, for the world's in a wonderful way. On a wonderful day like today. Well, summer went by rather quickly this year, despite all of the craziness of the times we are living in. And a lot of times, my husband and I go on vacation during the summer, but that didn't happen this year because pandemic, um, among other things. I took a full-time job working at a coffee shop, and so so I'm pretty tied down and can't really get away for a vacation anyway. So 2020 is just kind of a weird year. However, this past weekend, we ran away ever so briefly. That's what I called it. A little like we just ran away from home for a day. And we went up to Tetagouche State Park, which is just north of Two Harbors and Duluth in um, northern Minnesota. And we went to Tetagouche State Park and did some just wonderful hiking, and went to, there were waterfalls that we hiked to, and I laid on a rock and listened to a waterfall and kind of dozed off and took a nap on a rock, which was a really special moment. The simple things, nature. But what really struck me is how much ahead of us they are up there. They were already starting to really burst into autumn. It wasn't full on color, but there was so much color. And I got a few good pictures, but one of the pictures that you're looking at right here, I took up there. And it was just a very pretty pop of red against the green of the forest. So, and it made me think of the song Early Autumn. So I'm going to sing that for you. I've got the words too. If you know it, you can sing along as well. But this is a song I really only sing at this time of year. And so I thought I would do it for you. When an early autumn walks the land and chills the breeze and touches with her hand the summer trees, perhaps you'll understand what memories I own. There's a dance pavilion in the rain, all shuttered down, a winding country lane, all russet brown, a frosty window pane shows me a town grown lonely. That spring of ours that started so April-hearted seemed made for just a boy and girl. I never dreamed you any fall could come in view so early, darling. If you care, please let me know. I'll meet you anywhere. I miss you so. Let's never have to share another early autumn. That spring of ours that started so April-hearted seemed made for just a boy and girl. I never dreamed in you any fall could come in view so early, darling. If you care, please let me know. I'll meet you anywhere. I miss you so. Let's never have to share another early autumn. Well, I said that our theme was the harvest moon, and that is coming up soon. Usually, the harvest moon is in the full moon in September, but this particular calendar year it falls October 1st. And so it's called the harvest moon, of course, because it's the time of year that farmers would bring in their crops. And so thus harvest moon. Now, a lot of times the moon looks a lot bigger on the horizon. And it has to do with a lot of scientific stuff that I'm not going to try to explain right now. But it comes up earlier on the horizon, and as a result, you can see it. And it appears closer, but check it out as October 1st approaches, and it comes up pretty early. The moon is rising quite early, and so you might be able to spot it and see the great big harvest moon. There's a song from the Ziegfeld Follies of 1908 that I'm sure you're all familiar with, "Shine On, Harvest Moon," and I decided to include the verse with it today. There's actually 2 verses, and it's printed on your screen when we sing it. So if you happen to know it, go ahead and sing along. Otherwise, join me on the chorus, which of course is that well-known shine on, harvest moon up in the sky, right? You all know that one. So go ahead and join me when we get to that part if you don't know the verses. The verses are actually new to me. I just learned them about half an hour ago. So, so we'll see how I do. The night was mighty dark, so you could hardly see, for the moon refused to shine. Couple sitting underneath a willow tree, for love they pine. Little maid was kind of afraid of darkness, so she said, I guess I'll go. Boy began to sigh, looked up at the sky, told the moon his little tale of woe. Shine on, harvest moon, up in the sky. I ain't had no lovin' since January, February, June, or July. Snow time ain't no time to stay outdoors and spoon. So shine on, harvest moon, for me and my gal. I can't see why a boy should sigh when by his side is the girl he loves so true. All he has to say is, won't you be my bride, for I love you. Why should I be telling you his secret when I know that you can guess? Harvest moon will smile, shine on all the while, if the little girl should answer yes. Shine on, harvest moon, up in the sky. I ain't had no lovin' since January, February, June, or July. Snow time ain't no time to stay outdoors and spoon. So shine on, harvest moon, for me and my gal. Oh, shine on, harvest moon, up in the sky. I ain't had no lovin' since January, February, June, or July. Snow time ain't no time to stay outdoors and spoon. So shine on, harvest moon, for me and my gal. The song "It's Only a Paper Moon" was originally titled "If You Believed in Me," but later went by the more popular title "It's Only a Paper Moon." It was written in 1932 for an unsuccessful Broadway play called The Great Magoo. That was set in Coney Island, and it ended up being used in a movie in 1933 called Take a Chance. Paul Whiteman recorded a hit version of it later that year. However, its lasting fame stems from its revival towards the end of World War II, when a bunch of popular artists picked up on it and started singing it, and that includes Nat King Cole and Benny Goodman. His orchestra played it with Dottie Reed on vocals, and then probably most famously Ella Fitzgerald and the Rhythm Boys. It's a jazz and pop standard now and has been recorded by many artists over the years. So here we have It's Only a Paper Moon. Say it's only a paper moon sailing over a cardboard sea, but it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me. Yes, it's only a canvas sky hanging over a muslin tree, but it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me. Without your love, it's a honky-tonk parade. Without your love, it's a melody played in a penny arcade. It's a Barnum and Bailey world, just as phony as it can be. But it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me. Say it's only a paper moon sailing over a cardboard sea, but it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me. Yes, it's only a canvas sky hanging over a muslin tree, but it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me. Without your love, it's a honky-tonk parade. Without your love, it's a melody played in a penny arcade. It's a Barnum and Bailey world, just as phony as it can be. But it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me. But it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me. Moonglow was first recorded by Joe Venuti and his orchestra in 1933, and subsequently people like Cab Calloway, Benny Goodman and his orchestra, Ethel Waters, Art Tatum, a lot of people jumped on board and recorded this song. Probably one of the most famous versions was one by the Benny Goodman Quartet, with Teddy Wilson, Gene Krupa, and Lionel Hampton, and Benny Goodman, of course. That was a 1936 version, and you might hear Benny Goodman's clarinet in your mind if you're thinking of this song. But Bing Crosby also recorded it as a vocal, and that was in 1956. And then people jumped on board and recorded it some more. So June Christy, Billie Holiday, Sarah Vaughan, the Coasters. So a lot of artists in the 50s recorded it as well. So it's interesting. It was written in the early 30s, but ended up becoming repopularized again almost 2 decades later. So just the marking of a good song, and that happened a lot in that era because there was a lot of really good music written in the 1930s. So this is one of them, Moonglow. It must have been moonglow that has the theme of the moon in it comes from the big band era. And of course, the great Glenn Miller and his orchestra recorded Moonlight Serenade, and it's probably the most famous version of Moonlight Serenade, and one of Glenn Miller's orchestra's signature songs, I would say. I'm going to let them take over because there really aren't, there are words to this, but it's really more of an instrumental in the way that we remember it and think about it. And so I'm going to just let you reminisce as you listen to the Glenn Miller Orchestra and Moonlight Serenade, a very romantic song. The song Blue Moon, of course, refers to the phrase once in a blue moon, which is a way of saying not very often, because blue moons don't happen very often. A blue moon is when there is a full moon twice in the same calendar month. Haven't had one of those for a little while, and but I think we will be having one in October because the full moon is on the 1st. So usually when it's that early in the month, you end up with a blue moon, the second full moon of the month. So we do have one coming up. in October. So Blue Moon was written by Rodgers and Hart, Richard Rodgers of Rodgers and Hammerstein fame. His first writing partner was a guy named Larry Hart. And in 1934, they wrote the song Blue Moon for a film called Hollywood Party. And it was supposed to feature many of the studio's stars. And then after the movie was released, they rewrote the lyrics to make it more appropriate to playing on the radio as more of a song the general public would enjoy that wasn't necessarily connected to the plot of the movie. So many artists have covered this song, from Billy Eckstine to Mel Torme, Frank Sinatra, the Marcells, Billie Holiday, Elvis Presley, Sam Cooke, the Platters, Dean Martin, the Supremes, Cyndi Lauper, Bob Dylan, Rod Stewart, Bing Crosby. I mean, you name it, people have sung this song. It's very popular. What I'd like to do here is to, before we sing it, I'd like us to compare and contrast this song as sung in a couple of different versions. And so I'm going to first have you listen to Frank Sinatra's version of this.
You saw me standing alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Blue moon, you knew just what I was there for. You heard me saying a prayer for someone I really could care for. And then there suddenly appeared before me the only one my arms will hold. I heard somebody whisper, please adore me. And when I looked, the moon had turned to gold. Blue moon, now I'm no longer alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Suddenly appeared before me the only one my arms will ever hold. I heard somebody whisper, please adore me. And when I looked, the moon had turned to gold. Blue moon, now I'm no longer alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Blue moon, now I'm no longer alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own.
Oh, I love that. It's such a swinging version. You can just feel that 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 of the backbeat that helps to create that swing feel. And Frank Sinatra, just such a rich, mellow voice and such ease in his delivery. Very conversational type of what we call phrasing. It sounds like he's talking to you as he's singing it, and yet with this gorgeous voice. Um, so it's definitely in more of a foxtrot tempo. Bum, ba, ta, 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 ba, ta, ba, ba, ta. You can just feel that ease of the swing rhythm. Blue moon. Yeah, it just makes you lay back and enjoy the music. Now I want us to listen to a different version, and it's the version by the Marcells.
Blue moon, you saw me standing alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Blue moon, you knew just what I was there for. You heard me saying a prayer for someone I really could care for. And then there suddenly appeared before me, the only one my arms would ever hold. I heard somebody whisper, please adore me. And when I looked, the moon had danced to gold. Oh, blue moon, now I'm no longer alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Blue moon.
So that second version of Blue Moon was definitely a whole different feeling than Sinatra's swing version. What you heard there was this group called the Marcells. They got their name from a popular hairdo given to them by the sister of one of the guys in the group. But the Marcells took popular songs and turned them into rock and roll type songs. This particular style is called doo-wop, and it's really fascinating to listen to how they changed this music to give it that doo-wop sound. And so you can see by the people dancing in the video too that it definitely has a different feel than that foxtrot. They were doing a little more of a swing type dance instead of the foxtrot that you would do with the Frank Sinatra version. So anyway, I find it interesting to hear how artists can take the same song and make it sound completely different by changing some of the underpinning music and rhythms, and just stylistically adapting it. So you could hear that low voice doing the boom ba da dum ba dee ba da boom boom, and adding kind of a percussive element. So yeah, it's kind of fun to listen to and compare and contrast those two different numbers. Which one do you like better? I think there are things about both of them that are really fun and wonderful. So I suspect that it might be that you like the one that was popular closer to the time that you were a teenager or growing up, maybe. So I don't know. I'd be interested. I wish I was there to have a conversation with you and find out. But think about it, and maybe it's kind of a no-brainer for you, or maybe you're a little like me and, oh, there are things I like about both of them. Anyway, let's sing it now. Let's do our own version of it. Blue moon, you saw me standing alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Blue moon, you knew just what I was there for. You heard me saying a prayer for someone I really could care for. And then there suddenly appeared before me the only one my arms will ever hold. I heard somebody whisper, please adore me. And when I looked, the moon had turned to gold. Blue moon, now I'm no longer alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. I love the lyric to the song Moonlight in Vermont, which was written towards the end of World War II. And it's just a beautiful song with a lot of poetry in the lyrics. And it's pertinent to this time of year because right away it talks about falling leaves, a sycamore. So talks about moonlight in Vermont and different seasons of the year. So look, pick out the different seasons that they talk about in this song as we sing Moonlight in Vermont. Pennies in a stream, falling leaves, a sycamore, moonlight in Vermont. I'd like to share a poem with you. Poetry is very closely related to music for me because as a singer, I concentrate a lot on what the lyrics are saying and the kind of picture they are painting or the way the words bring up emotions or imagery or feelings that we have. And so poetry to me is very closely tied to music. So I'd like to share a poem by a Welsh poet. His name is William Henry Davies, born in 1871 and lived until 1940. He spent a significant part of his life as a hobo, or some people would say a tramp, both in the United Kingdom and in the United States. But despite that, he did become one of the most popular poets of his time. The principal themes in his work are observations about life's hardships, also the ways in which the human condition is reflected in nature. And he sometimes wrote poems about his own tramping adventures and different characters that he met. So knowing that, I'm going to read you the poem that he wrote called The Moon. The Moon. Thy beauty haunts me heart and soul. O thou fair moon, so close and bright, thy beauty makes me like the child that cries aloud to own thine light, the little child that lifts each arm to press thee to her bosom warm. Though there are birds that sing this night with thy white beams across their throats, let my deep silence speak for me more than for them their sweetest notes. Who worships thee till music fails is greater than thy nightingales. The famous French composer Claude Debussy wrote a song called Clair de Lune, and of course lune in French means moon, and clair de lune means moonlight or light of the moon. And so probably this is a very familiar song. If you are familiar with classical piano music at all, and even if you're not, you've probably heard this at some point. I think it's absolutely gorgeous and a very relaxing piece of music, and the kind of music that right now I really need to just kind of keep myself feeling centered and calm. So I'm going to encourage you to take some nice deep breaths as you are listening to this music and just expand your body. Let the air in and then blow it out as you listen, and just allow yourself to relax as you listen to this beautiful, beautiful piano piece and enjoy. In 1951 and 1953, Doris Day starred in two movies. The first was the original movie, and then the second one was a sequel. The movies both had Moon in the title, and had songs that became very popular. Uh, it was a story about the Winfield family at the turn of the 20th century, and based loosely on the Penrod stories by Booth Tarkington. So the first movie was On Moonlight Bay, and then it was followed by the light of the silvery moon. And so we are going to sing both of those songs now. We were sailing along on Moonlight Bay. We could hear the voices ringing. They seemed to say, "You have stolen my heart. Now don't go away." As we sang love's old sweet song on Moonlight Bay. We were sailing along on Moonlight Bay. We could hear the voices ringing. They seemed to say, "You have stolen my heart. Now don't go away." As we sang love's old sweet song on Moonlight Bay. By the light of the silvery moon, I want to spoon to my honey all croon love's tune. Honeymoon, keep a shining in June. Your silvery beams will bring love's dreams. We'll be cuddling soon by the silvery moon. By the light of the silvery moon, I want to spoon to my honey all croon love's tune. Honeymoon, keep a shining in June. Your silvery beams will bring love's dreams. We'll be cuddling soon by the silvery moon. Well, this song isn't really about the moon, but it has moon in the title. Moon River, a river named after the moon, I guess. And I wanted to include it just because it's got such an interesting story. And besides, who doesn't love this song? Moon River was written by Henry Mancini and Johnny Mercer, and very much reflective in the lyrics of Johnny Mercer's childhood in Savannah, Georgia. And when he spent his summers out on a family property out on an island near Savannah, one of the children of the kitchen help would accompany him out into the woods to pick huckleberries. And so in this phrase, there's this, "my huckleberry friend," and that was a reference to one of his childhood playmates. It was written for breakfast at Tiffany's, and behind the scenes at Paramount Pictures, one of the executives suggested removing Audrey Hepburn's scene where she sang this song from the movie, and her reaction was described by Henry Mancini and others, basically her saying, "over my dead body." And also accounts that maybe she made more emphatic use of colorful language as well to basically throw a little bit of a fit about having that removed from the movie. Well, it stayed in, and it's a good thing because that song, Moon River, ended up winning awards for the best original song at the Academy Awards in what year? 1962. Yeah. And also won the Grammy Awards, Record of the Year and Song of the Year in 1962. So it was a good thing they left it in the movie. Sometimes we women just have good instincts about these things, don't we? So here we have a beautiful song, Moon River. Moon River, wider than a mile, I'm crossing you in style someday. Oh, dream maker, you heartbreaker, wherever you're going, I'm going your way. Two drifters off to see the world. There's such a lot of world to see. We're after the same rainbow's end, waiting round the bend, my huckleberry friend, Moon River and me. Moon River, wider than a mile, I'm crossing you in style someday. Old dream maker, you heartbreaker, wherever you're going, I'm going your way. Two drifters off to see the world. There's such a lot of world to see. We're after the same rainbow's end, waiting round the bend, my huckleberry friend, Moon River and me. Meredith Willson is known as the composer that wrote the music for the Broadway show The Music Man. He also wrote a beautiful song that I know and love dearly because I learned it as a child. I have fond memories of going to visit my grandparents about 30 minutes away from where we lived in St. Peter. We would drive to Belle Plaine, Minnesota. Many times we would go on the weekend, and we'd spend the day playing at both of my grandmother's homes and visiting, and then a lot of times drive home in the evening. And whenever we were driving home in the moonlight, my dad would have us sing in the car, and he taught us the song I See the Moon. And so I want to share this one with you. I know a lot of people know this song, so I hope that that you like this song as much as I do. It's near and dear to my heart. And so we're going to close off our session about the moon with this sentimental song from my childhood. I see the moon sees me, shining through the leaves of the great oak tree. Please let the light that shines on me shine on the one I love. Over the mountain, over the sea, back where my heart is longing to be. Please let the light that shines on me shine on the one I love. I hear a lark, the lark hears me, singing a song with a memory. Please let the lark that sings to me sing to the one I love. Over the mountain, over the sea, back where my heart is longing to be. Please let the light that shines on me shine on the one I love. I kiss the rose kisses me, fragrant as only a rose can be. Please take the kiss that comforts me back to the one I love. Over the mountain, over the sea, back where my heart is longing to be. Please take the kiss that comforts me back to the one I love. Well, I barely scratched the surface when it comes to songs that have the moon as a theme. I hope I've hit some of your favorites though today. I know I've done a lot of my favorites. There are more. I could probably do several sessions of just songs about the moon, but anyway, we got to a lot of them today. And I look forward to sharing songs about autumn and the upcoming themes related to this beautiful time of year when the colors of the leaves change, and a lot of times we get those beautiful blue October skies, the cooler weather. So looking forward to this time of year and sharing music connected to it with you. But in the meantime, we're going to close things off as we do. Some trails are happy ones, others are blue. It's the way you ride the trail that counts. Here's a happy one for you. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then. Ooh. get started, and before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long. There's a time you put aside for dreaming, and a time for things you have to do. But the time I like the best is any morning. I can spend an hour here with you. Bye, everybody.